All right, let's jump right in. We'll start off by making a directory. Moving into that directory. Okay, and there's two prerequisites you're going to need. First is npm. So you'll need that installed, and you're also going to need Node. Everything else that we need will install right here. So let's go ahead and move into that directory book project. So we're already there. Let's do npm init. We'll accept most of the defaults, but we will tell it to call this entry point will be app.js. We'll change that. Everything else, besides the author, take as default. All right, let's take a look at this. So, what did that give us? Let's take a peek. All right, let's add some project dependencies. The first thing we're going to need is Express. Let that install. Okay, let's cat the package file again. So we've got Express as a dependency. Okay. We're also going to need NodeMon. That's going to be a dev dependency, not a runtime. Save -dev. Okay. All right, cool. So we have Express as a dependency and NodeMon as a dev dependency. One more dependency we're going to add here. Install. It's going to be body-parser. Okay. Oh, by the way, I'm working here on Windows. This is the WSL Windows subsystem for Linux. Okay, let's go ahead and do npm install to actually install all of those packages. Okay, I don't think that was necessary, but anyway. One thing I like to do, get a look at my project, is this tree command. But as you can see, like it's pretty crazy because of the node modules folder. So we need to run that command again, but we'll give it the ignore node module. So now when I do, I can do bang T to pull that command up really quickly. That gives us a nice look at our project. I like that better than ls. All right, so let's do touch app.js. Go ahead and create that file. Go ahead and create a couple of other directories and files that we need. Let's make a routes directory. And we're going to need a controllers directory. And inside the routes directory, we'll have a file called, what should we call this thing? We'll just call it feed.js. And we'll need to also have a file, JavaScript file in our controllers directory, also called feed.js. So if we do bang tr, I think we'll start over in the controllers file. So vi controllers feed.js. So we're going to make a get route. What we're going to have here is a REST service that returns a list of books. So it would be a route if you were in your browser. or coding against this API route, it would look something like a get from a /feed/ call it books, something like that. Start with exports. We'll have request, the response, next. Okay, so we are going to return on the response a status of 200. We will return some JSON data. And we will return an array of books. So a book will consist of a title. We'll go with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And we will also have an author. Be Douglas Adams. All right. And we'll go ahead and grab, we'll drop another book in here. While those aren't aligning. Obnoxious. If you haven't noticed yet, I'm definitely not an expert at Vim. I'm trying to force myself to use it. I like it. I was first introduced to it back in college, some 20 plus years ago, but I'm making a real effort to start using it. So let's go ahead and copy these 4 lines with 4 YY. 4 lines yanked. Go down here, hit P. All right. And I'm sure there's a better command here, but I'm just going to do DW. That's delete word, delete word, delete word. Okay. Call this one The Great Gatsby. And D word, delete word here. It's F. Scott Fitzgerald. All right, this is looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and save that. All right, so that was our controller with our get route. Now let's jump over to that routes file. So we'll do a VI on the routes. v.js. All right, first thing over here, let's import Express. And we'll need to include our controller file. That will be a local include. Go up 1 level, down into the controllers folder, and into feed file. No need to put feed.js. Feed is fine. Okay, then we'll say, go ahead and initialize the router. Oops, Express router, capital R. And finally, our actual route, which again will be a get route on /feed/books. So we'll simply say router.get, and we'll say books. We don't have to say /feed/books. I'll explain that in a minute, but we get the /feed by We'll get that from the way we set up our app.js file here in a moment, but we just need /books here. Just trust me on that for the moment. And we need our controller. So we'll say feed controller .get books. Don't want to call the function, just want to provide the name. All right, and the final thing is module.exports equals router. Save that file. Okay. Again, bang, let's clear the screen and do our tree command. The reason I'm doing bang tr is just a quick way to recall that command. If you do bang t, it also works, but I do bang tr because if I had done maybe a tail command on app.js and I go bang t, it's going to recall that tail command. So this doesn't look like a tail command. What is an app.js? Nothing. Let's do a tail on controllers/v.js. Yeah. So if I do bang t, it's going to recall that tail command. So bang tr correctly grabs the tree command. You can also see it in your history. You do there at the bottom 953. That'll also do it, but I just find it quicker to do bang tr. There it is. I kind of need this to see what my project looks like. Otherwise, I get a little bit lost. I don't like looking at. I just find this to be much more illustrative. Okay. Need to set up app.js. All right. Port Express. And we will need to pull in our routes. That's a local import. Notice that it's not ... here because the routes folder is at the same level as our app.js file, same directory. Okay. Start off by saying const app is equal to express. Then we'll say app.use/feed. And any route that starts with /feed, we'll let the feed routes file handle that, okay? That's why all those routes, well, that one route, the books route we defined in feed routes, that's why it didn't have the /feed in front of it, because it gets it right here. Almost as like a nested sort of thing. So whenever we're in the browser and we call /feed/ whatever, it's going to look for it in that feed routes file. Last thing, we'll say app.listen. We'll use 8080. All right, so in another window, I've got a second terminal open over here. And in this terminal, go ahead and go into the book project. And, oh, you may have recalled I had that nodemon package. That basically will prevent me from having, anytime I make a change, it will pick up on the change in my project and restart Node. Prevents me from having to start and stop the server over and over again. So let's go ahead and add that to our package.json. That will be right here, that script. Oops. start. We will call nodemon on app.js. Don't forget, do this all the time, don't forget this comma here. All right, I guess this is kind of the moment of truth here. We will say npm start. Wow, it actually started. It's a miracle. Let's switch over to the browser and take a look at that. All right, so over here in the browser, we'll just go to localhost 8080/feed/books. There it is. See, we have a GET request, the 200 response, and we see our list of books. Maybe a little bit hard to read. Let me zoom in on that. There, that's our 2 books. We can also look at this inside Postman. So over in Postman, we'll type in localhost 80, and we will give it feed/books, and that's going to be a GET send, and there it is. All right, so that's our GET route. Let's switch back over to terminal and work on a post route now. So let's clear the screen for our tree command. We're going to start again in the controllers file. And next we will have a post route. This is going to look like post/feed/book. We'll go with book singular. And I see a mistake here just in the comment. That should be books. All right. And you know what? Let's make this plural as well, because we can differentiate them by the action. One's a get, one's a post. So we'll do a post on /feed/books. All right. So for this, let's say exports dot, call it add book, and we have a request, response, and next. Okay, so if someone's posting a book to us, they're going to send us a title and an author. So we want to grab that from the request. So we'll say const title equal to request.body.title. The author, the request.body.author. PHOR. All right. Now this is just very basic. Eventually we'll have a database, or at least a flat file we can read and write from. So I'll just have a to-do here. Create this book in the database, or flat file, whatever we're doing. Ultimately a database, but for now we just want to get the get and the post interactions working. So we will say, after that book is theoretically added to the database, we'll have a response. We'll have a status code of 200 or 201, more specifically 201. That's because if you look at, so these status codes, your 200 family is, this class of status codes indicates the action requested by the client was received, understood, and accepted. 200 is your standard response for an OK. 201, this request has been fulfilled, resulting in the creation of a new resource. So I think that's the most appropriate response to give here, since we are creating a new book. Yep, so back to the code. We have our 201. We will respond with some JSON, whatever you want to call it. And we will give them a message. We will say book created successfully. And we will give them, we will echo back some of the information about the book, including the title, just echoing back the information they gave us, the author. But we'll also give them, we'll assume that the database has created an ID for this book. We will mock that up right now. We'll just give them a date. Something like that. And that's looking pretty good. Now, one thing that we're going to need in order to actually parse the body of this request, pull out the title and author, we need to be able to read JSON. So we need, if you recall, package, there was a body parser library that we pulled in. So we're going to need to actually make use of that. So over in app.js, we need to go ahead and import that body parser library. Call it body parser. Wire body dash parser. That. And we'll also tell our app to use the body parser. App.use body parser.json. Oops. .json. Should not be a quote there. App.use body parser.json. That will allow us to read the MIME type application /JSON, that MIME type. Okay. Oh, we need to take a look at the routes file just real quickly. To add that post route to the routes file. Okay, so let's clear the screen, the tree. Take a look at routes/feed.js. Yep, right here. This will be our post route to /feed/books. We will say router.post. And we will use the controller function controller.add book. I think add book. Feed controller.add book. Just to make sure that's correct. Let's do a cat on that file. And sure enough, yep, exports.addBook. Our function is called addBook. All right, let's take a look real quick at our NodeMon. Looks like there's no errors. Good. So over in, let's go to Postman now. See if we can't do a post to this route. All right, so over in Postman, we've got our get. We can click the blue button here. All right, we know get's working. Let's now try the post route. So we'll say post, and the URL doesn't change. It's still /feed/books. We will need to send some JSON though. So we'll click this. We were on params, I think. Let's go to this, click on body. And right now it's on none. Click on raw. All right. And then over here where it says text, change that to JSON. All right, so let's actually give it a book. We'll have a title. Of stranger in a strange land. Author of Robert Heinlein. Okay, here's the moment of truth. Let's see if this works. And no, it did not work. What's it telling us here? It says type error, not read property title of undefined at exports.addBook. Cannot read property title of undefined. And it's saying it's in our controllers file on line 20. So let's maybe go take a look at that. Controllers file, line 21. Let's clear this. Tree view. All right, it was saying line 20. Can't read title. Cannot read property title of undefined. So body, for whatever reason, is undefined. It's something to do with that body parser. I know we're using the body parser. See, const body parser required, and we're saying I think the order of, I think the problem is possibly I need to put this line before the routes line. So we'll just do the yank on that, paste it, and then delete this one. All right, let's see if that works. Back over to Postman. Let's switch over to Postman. Right. Click send. There it goes. Book created successfully. Okay, beautiful. So that's it for this video. I think in the next one we will create a some sort of website, maybe a view, just a simple web page to interact with these two routes.